are at the Dugway Geobeds, and if you're wondering if a minivan can make it out here, the answer is yes. Yes, one can. Let me pan around and show you what I'm looking at. All right, so we're gonna get started. I just brought a shovel and a pick, so we'll get started. And when we start finding things, the goal here is to find something that can be the size of a sphere, so I can make a geode sphere. I think that'd be pretty cool. Hopefully one that might have some kind of openings to it, so you can see the minerals inside, all the crystals. Otherwise, yeah, we'll get started and I'll show you what we find. All right, we're done collecting. I got quite a few geodes. Some look like they're about the right size to make a sphere. I hope they work out. I also collected some other stones. Now, I had made a video of these before. I don't know what the mineral's actually called, but I've heard people call them volcanic glass, and that's pretty much what it looks like. It's very much like an obsidian, but a little more flaky. There was a lot of these red ones, and I got a whole bucket, well, about a half a bucket full. And I've made a sphere out of these before, and they turned out great. So you can look through the library of my videos, and you'll see that I have already created one. So I won't really make a video of these again since I already have one. All right, I wanted to give kind of a safety announcement. Many people in the comments have been telling me that I'm crazy for putting my fingers near this cutting blade and wondering why I have all my fingers and all that. I just wanted to maybe just give a little bit of education on the difference between this blade and a wood cutting blade. Yes, if this blade was in here, you're right, I would never put my fingers near it. However, this blade is for cutting wood, okay? So yeah, it's very aggressive. It'll pretty much cut anything that comes in its way. This is not the same. You are not gonna cut wood with this or many other things. This blade, let me give it a zoom in here. You can see it's very smooth. When this is running at whatever RPMs they are, 1,000 RPMs or so, you can touch this all day. It's not going to hurt you at all. You can even touch this part too. It might give you a little bit of a scratch, but it's not gonna damage your fingers. I suppose if you hold your finger there and push it super hard, it'll eventually do something. But when I'm cutting tile or stone or anything like that, it's totally safe. So okay, please be gentle in the comments. I have been doing this for a while, but yes, there is a difference between this blade and this blade. So there you go. I hope that makes sense to you. All right, we're going to start to cut this geode into a sphere shape. I'm hoping to put this on the sphere machine and maybe crack open one of the sides so that it'll be like looking into a inside of the sphere and be able to see the crystals inside of it. So wish me luck. All right, we're finished with the cutting phase. I wanted to point out a couple things before we put it on the machine to start grinding. These holes that are through it, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to have those windows through it so people can see these geodes are hollow and there are a lot of crystals inside there. And I thought it'd be cool to have it where it's to have a sphere open enough to where you can see the crystals in there. What I was hoping for is to have this achieved by the grinding machine or the polishing machine, so it would be done a lot smooth. So it would be strong going into the grind machine than in this state of vulnerability. Hopefully it all works out. I still have a lot that's not rounded off, and I did that because this stone feels pretty fragile, and I didn't want to destroy it. So if anything happens to this stone during the grinding process, I have cut a couple more as backup, so we can have a complete video of one of these geodes. All right, let's get it on the machine and see how it does. Some people were asking me how the water system works on this machine. Well, I just have a simple piece of wood coming out here that's got a hole in it, and I've used sprinkler hose with a on and off switch. So I just adjust this as much as I need to get the right amount of drip, and it's really just glued into a juice container filled with water. This is probably a 2-liter container, and so yeah, it's very simple, very primitive, pretty much like my machine. So let's get started. Let's get the water going. So I twist this. I want to get it to about something like that, and then turn it on. All right, we finished the grind, and look what we have. This is pretty cool. Let me kind of zoom in a little bit. Yeah, so we have some of these holes that are here. They kind of become larger. They become pretty thin. So I stopped it. I stopped the grind because I didn't want all of this surface to be removed. I wanted to be able to look in there and see the crystals in there, and maybe even put a light in there and let the whole thing light up. But yeah, it turned out great. I look forward to seeing how it or what kind of polish it holds. So we're going to put it on the polisher now and start out with 100 grit. Yeah, I really have high hopes for this one. So I'm going to need both hands to put it on the polishing machine. All right, 100 grit, here we go. right, that'll wrap it up for this round of polish. Let's take a look real quick. Yeah, it's not going to be very glossy yet, but what I do like is now that it's pretty cleaned up, I like how there's all this contrast of colors. I like how there's this brown part, which by the way, looks a lot like wood, or maybe some kind of nut, like an acorn or something. Pretty strange. I had looked up what material these geodes are made of, and it came up as quartz. Now it's not like a typical quartz, because this is so thin that, you know, it's a little more brittle than a normal quartz or quartzite stone. So I'm trying to be careful as I'm doing this polishing process. So let's get it out and get it ready for the next round of polish. Okay, this is the next round of polish at 400 grit. All right, that will wrap it up for the final polish. 3000 grit. Let's take a look and see how glossy it is. It is very glossy. All right, let's take it in and clean it up and look at it under a better light. All right, we're finished. Finished with the geode sphere, and it turned out the way I wanted it. It has these openings, kind of like windows to see in there. Let's see if we can see some of the crystals in there. You can a little bit better on this side. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there's all kinds of crystals in there, and yeah, this thing turned out nice. I really like the rest of this. It does remind me of wood, like a petrified wood, but it's not. And I like these white parts. They are translucent. You can take a flashlight in the dark and this stone will light up. Let's take a second and look at this. Yeah, see, you can see how it lights up. And on the other end, yeah, this stone turned out great. This was how I expected it to, or how I had hoped it would turn out. So when I cut this stone, I think I cut 5 of them total. 3 of them did not make it. They crumbled or fell apart, and so I'll show the other one, the other survivor. This has a lot more blue in it, and this turned out great too. Has a lot of these swirling, marbling patterns, and yeah, this first one, the white parts were more blue, but the further I had grinded down, it started just to turn kind of white, lost its color. So this one still has the blue, and And it still has openings down there. You just can't see quite as far. This is a much thicker stone, whereas this other one's thinner, and this one's quite a bit more heavy. But wow, let's kind of zoom in a little bit and see some of these attributes that this stone has. You can just see pretty far down there. So it was really fun making these. I had a good time with them. I didn't know what they would end up being like. It was kind of a mystery. And so I do like the way that they turned out, and I might do some more in the future. I probably won't record them, but I do like the way that they turned out. They were fantastic. So, all right, thanks for watching. And if you know anyone who's into geodes, share with them this video, and we'll see you on the next one.